howl. Ho ho, some joke. My next biggest was when I was for a short time in the business doing silence for First National, and even a feature called One Round Hogan, in which I played a guy named Sniffy and got KO'd by Jimmy Jeffries, who played himself. It was a real concussion caused by the ring pole, and they had to shoot around me for 2 days. The chief, but I didn't call him anything but Mr. Warner then, was mad as hell. "You're seeing double. So what if you're seeing double? I'm seeing red. Red ink." That was the end of my motion picture career. It was also the beginning of my relationship with the chief. Yesterday he wanted me to meet at wardrobe. I thought he wanted to outfit his latest blonde, whose name is Carolina Kaiser, not the one the chief gave her, and not Miss Kaufman, which is the one she was born with. She's a beauty, all right, even though she hasn't got what you'd call an hourglass figure. Not much sand in the top. I can't help feeling sorry for her, being a refugee, and all of her family, I hear, or maybe only her father, was shot. I wouldn't mind getting that Hitler in the ring. He'd be KO number 4. Anyhow, when I got over to the wardrobe department, I was surprised to find out they weren't making a costume for the girl, but were putting the pins and the chalk on the chief. "Hello, Abdul," said this, no joke here, knockout. "Good afternoon, miss," I said, because I was embarrassed to call her by her first name, which is Carolina. I took the hand she held out to me, wondering for a second whether because she was from the continent of Europe I was supposed to bow down and kiss it. Instead, I said, "Is that the outfit they made for you? For when you test for Ilsa? It's A-OK with me. Thumbs up." It was a nice dress with a zigzag pattern and little puffs at the sleeves. She laughed. "Oh, this is off the May Company rack. The fitting today is for Mr. Warner." Then, right on cue, from behind a curtain stepped the chief, dressed in what I found out was a U.S. Army Air Force uniform. He held up his arms and grinned, like a girl coming out of a cake, and his teeth were brighter than the brass buttons that ran up the front of his tunic. "Don't just stand there, dummy," he said, pointing at the silver oak leaves on his shoulders. "You better learn how to salute." "You bet, Chief," I said, and put my thumb to my eyebrow, like in the movies. "You bet, Colonel," said J.L., and he wasn't kidding. "Colonel," I said, and saluted all over again. "Lieutenant Colonel, actually." Then Rido Loshak stepped through the curtain, I swear to God, with the points of pins in his mouth. "You too," said the chief, giving him a nod. And when a wardrobe girl came out with the chief's old suit over her arm, he said more or less to all of us, "What's the matter with you people? Don't you know there's a war on? Salute, goddammit! Salute!" 2. Gloria Palast. Goebbels, last day of April 1945, Berlin. Our last hope, Monka, arrived an hour ago with the latest reports. Some good news. The Schlesische station has been recaptured. A brief celebration. Then bad news. The Russians have taken the Friedrichstrasse tunnel and have moved into Vollstrasse, only a stone's throw away. The Führer heard these words without emotion. He had already received more important intelligence from Professor Hase, who informed him that when, with a pair of pliers, he crushed an ampule of prussic acid in Blondie's mouth, the dog died on the instant, without a whimper of pain. That is the only news worth celebrating. Magda has arranged to get a supply from Stumpfegger. Not for ourselves, for the children. For tomorrow night. How they liked to romp about with that bitch's puppy. He would nip with his sharp little teeth, but never do any real damage. And after, nothing of the Führer must be allowed to remain. I have ordered Gunsche and Kempke to bring 200 liters of petrol to the garden. We saw what had happened to the Duce. Hung by the heels, mocked and desecrated by the masses, the Führer is determined that he shall not suffer such a fate. To be forced to act in a farce, one in which the Bolsheviks can have a good laugh, and the Jews with their hacked-off Schwenge can urinate on him through the bars of his cage. Linge has confirmed that a minimum of 180 liters has been secured.